Whoa! Virals break out. Amy does what she said she would never do. And Brad's braiding hair? Come on, man. Let's talk about this.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, freaking God.
Son.
Literally.
Passengers.
Cuz.
Oh, I like that. You just named them the passengers. They are named.
You finally get a name.
No, they're named the passengers everywhere.
Okay.
The passengers.
So I'm not doing nothing new then.
But it's the first time we said it on here.
Yes.
And let me tell y'all, passengers, this was a wild freaking ride.
Wow.
It was indeed.
Wow.
Do you agree?
I mean, stuff going so much, so many storylines, so much stuff going down. It was fun to watch.
It was
It
fun to
was.
watch.
It was a
It
little
was.
too much, though. A little bit too much. Like, I cannot. I don't know what happened.
Y'all know she's scary, so she had a hard time
Yes.
tonight.
Man.
She had a hard time.
She was
Well,
jumping all
everybody-
up on the brother.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Everybody out there, thank you so much for tuning in again, whether it's by internet, by podcast. We are talking season 1, episodes 9 and 10. Stay in the light.
in the light, Caroline.
Lesson on the passage.
That's
right.
This was it, y'all.
Finale.
This was it.
Yes.
A lot going on. So before we get into a whole bunch of topics we got to talk about, let me introduce my esteemed panel.
All right. I like that adjective.
I'm glad you know I'm esteemed.
I'm the passenger called Jackie Ray, y'all. You see what I did there?
I'm Joshua Wright.
And as you know, I'm your girl and passenger, Deshauna. Oh,
And I'm your main passenger, host and moderator, Tanir Williams.
That's right.
Give it up for myself. Before we get into everything, let me get overall thoughts from everyone, starting with Miss Jackie.
Man, I loved it. Again, Amy is just everything to me. I was so all over the place. Again, that's one of the things that I love about this show. Is like you'll be up, oh no, and down, oh yeah. You know, but Fanning, I got some choice words for you in a moment. Very choice words.
Well,
viral.
I like how they brought everything, not full circle, but, 3/4 of a circle.
Hey,
I
said
do-
enough circle.
Yeah, I do like that Amy kind of leaped out and let him know what was up.
Right.
Yeah, she was dope.
Whew, my overall thoughts are, again, it was quite a bit to handle. I love the jump scares. Like, even though I'm scared, I like it. You know what I mean? So I enjoyed the fact that it was very realistic. I wrote down that every episode is like a movie.
Yeah.
And this was like the movie because it was 2 hours.
The blockbuster.
And yeah, I loved it. The ending made me feel like this. I don't know.
Right.
Right.
So I'm
Yes.
very confused about what's going to happen next.
Yes. No, that definitely. Like you said, we got a lot to jump into. So I want to start actually from the first, right at the beginning of hour 1. I think that was Stay in the Light. When we kind of find out, when we do get a little background, a little more, well, not a little background, but we see Lear and Fanning when they're talking in 2015 when Fanning first gets bit.
Oh, yeah, in Bolivia.
And he gives out the directive. Fanning tells Lear, shoot me. Shoot me in the face right now or whatever. I don't know if he said the face. but
Sounds right.
basically-
Sounds right.
Well, I'll take it.
you know? And we see a little bit of Lear's ego come out where he's like, no. Well, I don't know if it was ego. I mean, it was his friend. He's like, we're trying to save you. But you kind of see, like, there was a time when he could have got taken out. And
Yes.
Lear did not pull that trigger.
But Dr. Lear is Captain
we wouldn't have had a
Save.
show if we didn't.
Right. He's Captain Save everybody.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't say that.
Captain Save a Viral.
Okay, yeah, that part. So I get it. And, he's a doctor, and I think that in real life, granted this viral thing wouldn't happen, but I think in real life, most doctors would, or scientists, people who think that they can find the answer if they research hard enough, or if everything has an answer. I think that most people in his position, I think that you and I would be like, oh, bye, so sorry. But I think that a doctor or a scientist who's used to finding answers would have done the same thing.
I agree. I don't believe it was his ego. More so it was just him knowing that he could find a cure or find a way to circumvent the problem. Fanning was clear when he got bitten. He said earlier in the season as well, you should have killed me. I told you to kill me. You didn't kill me. So now Fanning contributes a lot of his suffering to Lear.
Right.
Right.
Ooh, there's a definite rivalry there. As far as I think that Dr. Lear was just ignorant. I think that he truly, not like that, like not like ignorant,
Ignorant.
ignorant of the true effects
Right,
of it.
without
because he was
knowledge,
in
it's-
such
yeah.
of the, he was like such a beginning stage, like he wasn't even losing teeth yet, barely. You know what I mean? So he was probably like, you know what, I can solve this. But once it got out of hand,
So you're saying Lear wasn't prepared for the catastrophe that was going to follow?
no way, no how. He truly believed that he could contain it like a common cold or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
And obviously he could not.
No
way.
And which actually I noticed in, I think it was hour 2 when Brad was dealing with Amy.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the same, when he kind of went through the same cycle where he was like, you know, or I'm sorry.
No,
it
Dr.
was-
Sykes.
I'm sorry,
Dr.
that's
Sykes.
right.
Well, because his wife had gotten bit, and then now she was like, you know, it has to be done. And he's like, I can save
He's
you.
like, nah,
that
bro.
was it. That was it. That was the
And we know why he
situation.
saved her later on.
Right. We gonna get into that.
Get into it.
Like he got into, no, I'm just kidding.
There we go.
You know what? I want to say that this panel influences me.
You know we gotta drop one every episode.
Every
So
But you know
Shauna
what?
brought it today.
It wasn't just
She's
him
trying to
though.
bypass it right
Everyone,
now.
I have to bypass it. Everyone was doing that though, right? Every
Yeah.
single time someone that they loved had a dilemma, that
Yeah.
they all just were like, "I can handle it. I can save
That's
them."
true.
I think it's the natural way that a human being goes.
Yeah.
So
I'm
would
gonna-
you save someone in that situation if you watch Blade take out somebody, would you save that person?
That's especially like you said, we're talking like a
Well,
loved
Blade's a
one.
day walker, so he wouldn't take out someone unless they
Okay,
were a
well, I'm
vampire.
sorry, y'all, I was misquoted.
Y'all know Blade is my favorite. Don't do that to Blade.
You know
Don't do
what? I
that.
wanna- also, people in the chat chime in on this. Like, if you had the decision, you had to take someone out, and it was for the goodness of the race, the human
race.
like when they had to decide to blow up the place, you
Yeah.
know, and
You save
was
4,
intense.
or
You
do
know,
you save a million?
yeah. And Amy went in there, gangster was like,
Yeah, we save a
sorry,
million.
you know, like
I
would
think
you guys
we-
have done that? I know people sometimes we say no, I would have done it, but I mean, man.
I think we know what I would have done, because when Dr. Lear was down there with the thing and didn't want to turn up the UV
heat?
rays,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, turn it up.
Right.
Let's
But
get
Amy,
it.
Amy would have died though.
For how many people would have been saved though?
But look at Amy now.
With nobody else on the planet.
97 years.
Still the same age. You know, out there with Hunger Games and whatnot. That's where we at.
Dang.
Can I just real quick, let me just address this elephant that Tony Z has placed in the room. He says, hey, Jackie, any questions about Anthony now?
Oh.
Let me tell you
Tony
something.
Z.
Let me tell you something, Tony. No, stop shooting at Anthony. We'll get to that later. Y'all gonna stop shooting at Anthony. Shoot.
Man, I thought for something. Yeah. Well, we'll definitely get to Anthony.
And then wait, I just find it so funny because we're still in the beginning, right? I find it so funny that Dr. Lear is now being the one that's be like, kill them. It does not matter what. Like he's now.
He sees the error of his ways.
He
I
does
see, that's
see
not
the
what
error
it
of his
is.
ways, but you don't redeem yourself by killing more and more
That's
people.
true. Yeah.
See, I don't think that Dr. Lear sees the error of his ways. I think that his passion is gone. Elizabeth is dead. So he has no reason to continue on this path of trying to find a cure. Plus, he knows that Dr. Sykes already found it. So for him, he's like, all right, done it.
We
Elizabeth's
good.
dead. Everybody can die now. Everybody can.
And to be honest, he's very, very flip-floppy. One minute he wants to kill people. Next minute he wants to save humanity. Next minute he wants to kill himself. It's just like, chill, man. Just sit down somewhere in a corner and just tie yourself up and just chill.
Man, no, it's like you said, a lot going on. I agree with you. He doesn't need to know. I mean, he doesn't know kind of
What
what's
he
going
wants
on,
to
what
do.
he
Oh,
wants.
yeah, he's all
like
over
you
the
said, when
place.
Lacey came in and he was like, I'm trying to kill myself. You know, she's looking like, what?
She's
Quoting
like,
some
bruh,
scripture on him.
throw this Bible at you.
When she said, you don't get to die.
It's for
Dying
the
is
innocent.
I
How
was
about
like,
Sandala Basha?
Lacey.
Watch it now.
Really?
Watch it now.
That really touched me. Like, I really love that line. Because what she said was, because she followed it up with a nice thing,
Yeah.
which was, you now can be, start your redemption, basically. And he is on a mission now.
Right.
So
I
that
was
don't know.
almost-
That dying is for the innocent thing. I was like, is it though? Because we all still alive.
Dang. If Jackie would have been there, she would have been like,
Is it though?
Let me scoot on out the door real quick.
oh my goodness. So it starts out in those first probably 30 minutes. I mean, it's pretty action packed. Like people,
Yes.
they're blowing up C or what is it, B4, C4?
4B.
4B. I'm like, throwing
Yeah.
up- blowing up 4B. I felt bad for Sykes She went, sacrificed herself.
I don't feel bad for Sykes.
But then folks still broke out. Like, the
Yeah.
viral still got... So I was like, man, she did all that. Like, she's
I don't-
probably
I don't
thinking,
know.
like, if I'm going out...
I think this was an easier death for her than to allow them to
Well,
attack her.
When Babcock said she went quick, at least she was like... She probably didn't... It was like... Probably like... in a
Am I the
flash
only
of
one that
innocence.
thinks she's still alive? I think somewhere.
I
I
did-
think Babcock, when she said she went quick, I don't know. In my head, they had that bonding moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did have that bonding
And-
moment, but she was shot, and
She
so
was.
she didn't choose her as her person because she was about to choose her as a person.
I see. I don't know. I think she was always going to choose Clark
You're
as
right.
her
If
person.
you never really see the body or like someone dead,
Yes.
just like in soap operas, you know, like if you never actually see the person
or
die,
unsolved mysteries. If you
Yeah.
ain't got nobody, you ain't
We
got
can't
no
talk
case.
about that. Unsolved Mysteries used to scare me so crazy when I was like 7.
It's okay.
can't with
it's
you.
okay, Josh.
But yes, like so yeah, I was just like, oh man, she did. But she was kind of the writer. It was funny because when we were looking at the scene when she was following Brad had his gun. He was all like
Yes.
military with it, and she was kind of holding it real,
Yeah.
like kind of loose.
She's a novice.
But when she shot those people,
She was
she
on
was
it.
real, like a
you
real
know,
like marksman.
with two hands.
Right? And just like pop, pop, got him. I was
But
like,
she
man,
tried to
son.
sacrifice herself a couple times.
So
Like,
did she want to die?
did she feel there was
don't-
like the guilt that was eating her up? You think, or the fact
No.
that Shauna felt so betrayed?
I
What
think
was
that
it?
she wanted to contain the mess that she made, and I think that because originally when the first time she said it, she was locked up, but then when she saw a way out, she was working with Clark, like, let's get me out. And then when they were back with Brad, and then the virals were out, I think the reason she wanted to stay at that point is because Brad, you going up this tunnel. If I go up with you and they come after us, I mean, what are we gonna do then? They're gonna get out. Somebody got to stay here. And
They got out
keep
anyway.
them- Yeah, but she didn't know
didn't
that.
know.
I
She
really
didn't
thought
know
she
that.
might have got, if she had gone in, she might have got blown up the tunnel and like through.
Oh,
and
yeah.
saved,
Like
so we were
Wile E.
oh, there's
Coyote?
the sights up there,
Yeah,
you
like
know,
catch her.
in a tree or something.
Like Wile E. Coyote, just
Yeah.
coming out the hole.
Tanir's imagination is really good.
I was looking though, because you be like, you
Ooh.
never know.
Good. Oh, this is a new person.
Someone saw where Sykes went?
You stop it. As Zimiko 9000 says, so little creepy pedo dude guy, we are assuming he was left to turn into a viral.
Right? I thought that. I thought he was gonna turn like because when he was walking by, he's like, why didn't they just kill? What did he say?
Why
Like,
didn't
Yeah,
they
why
just
didn't they just
kill
kill
him?
me?
and
Why?
Brad didn't kill him.
Yeah,
He
Brad
coulda
was like,
lit
bro,
him
I'm
up,
good.
but- So I thought, yeah, maybe he might.
Why did he survive? Even though I
Maybe.
mean, maybe he was just like nothing to Brad. He was like, look, I got a real viral to get right
Right.
now. I need to leave you alone for a second.
That is a good question though, because he caused a lot of havoc. He started a lot of this.
Oh, he's the whole
You know?
reason. They all got, yeah, it was.
But he would have died in the explosion, right?
Yes.
You would
Unless he
think.
crawled away.
Unless someone
Or unless
dragged
he
him.
was a viral who made it somehow, because some
Yeah.
of those virals were coming through the,
Yeah,
the
they,
fire.
they were
biting
tearing
people.
through the doors.
And we saw
Yeah.
some of them crawl into vents at
Right.
the end. So.
Yeah, but that was I think that was the way they were protecting themselves from the explosion.
How does a pedophile viral survive in the world? Like, do they eat just kids?
I'm not going to
Uh-oh.
go there today,
Wow.
but what I am going to do is, okay, remember his unsolved mystery thing?
I'm saying,
I'm
bro.
afraid.
Wait, can I get really quick in hour one? I mean, there was, I don't know for you guys out there in watching us by the internet and you guys up here in the panel, there's a couple good quotes tonight, and I have to give it to Richards for one of my favorite quotes when
What'd he
he
say?
gave the mustache reference.
Yes.
To Gilmore.
Yes.
When he was like, I will twist that
I
mustache.
would snatch that mustache off your
think,
face
uh,
and feed it
I was
to
like,
you.
I think he's gonna cut that
the
mustache for season
writer's
2.
actually giving reference. I mean, that's like the
Gilbert is
third time
Yes.
someone's referenced it. So I'm like, they must even in the writers.
You know
would
what
be
I
like,
think
you
it
know
is?
what?
I think they really don't like the mustache. So they're like, you know what, we gonna get
They
back
saw it
at
when,
him.
like, the makeup
We're just
people
gonna
put
write
on
it
him,
on
like-
in him. Yeah, just if you write it in the show, he'll take the hint. You know?
Right. Like at some point, someone was like, hey, can you shave your mustache for the show? No, I cannot.
It's like, okay, we got you, bro.
I personally think they heard all of us and our fifth panelists who were complaining. I think that's what happened there.
Oh man! But also speaking of with Richards, you know, he really goes into like hero mode, especially in the first hour. You know, where
Yeah.
he's kind of like he's going through all the different levels. He's like, he just tells Walgas, I got you into this. Least I can do is get you out.
Right.
You know.
He says, I love you, Nicole.
Which would make that the stamp in the good guy passport. Would you not agree? I'm
But
looking
that-
at you. Don't look away. Don't look away.
I'm looking at my friends, the fifth. You guys, I
Look at him get all soft.
I am now liking Clark. He is a good man, but he dead. He's
Dang.
dead now, and he's a viral.
He's not a viral.
He's kind of a viral.
He's
He is
Mini viral.
He is
He's
a mini viral.
He's
He's
minion.
a part of a viral. And I just don't know where that's going to take him. But I think that he's a good guy. I'm on Team Clark now.
So let me ask this
and
question.
I'm sad that he died. Like I'm sad to see him like break his. What did he break his back or something?
His whole body.
His whole
His
body got
spleen.
broken.
That's
When
what we
that
decided. His spleen was
football
broken.
player viral came and
No, let me. Oh, and that, how I mentioned whoever hit Clark when he threw him in the tree.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude needs to be in the NFL. That viral. Cause
Yeah,
he,
he's
I mean,
kinda
he was
real.
about like 10 feet
Yeah.
off the ground. I'm
Right.
like, who hits like
But
that?
what if Dr. Sykes is not dead, but Clark has been, getting familiar with Shauna? How do you explain that?
What you mean?
honestly,
Well, it was a
we
set-
thought he
Male,
was dead, girl.
female. What you mean? I don't even. What you
I'm
mean?
saying like Clark is with.
Like if she comes back in the
yeah, if,
picture.
if Sykes comes back in the
Oh,
picture.
I got you gonna be like
okay,
that?
I got you. I'm with you.
You
now.
thought I was
So-
dead?
Yes.
You already
So,
moved on? Like,
from
oh.
what I could see, because the scenery always turns a little reddish when
Right.
they're in her head.
In the head, yeah.
So he can explain this away. We got busy in my head, not in real life. You see? He can explain it away.
Listen,
I got you, Clark.
If Dr. Sykes is worried about that right now, she's worried about the wrong
Well,
things. Okay, it's an apocalypse going on right now.
It was my tater
But
tots and ketchup.
I was gonna say at the time she was being selfish when she said because she took away his tater tots and ketchup. So Carter was.
I'm gonna-
Richards.
I
whatever
am
his
going
name is.
to not comment on that. Okay,
That's the whole basis of
especially the ketchup part.
right.
Okay,
Shauna said
guys
ketchup
love you
totally
some
different than I
ketchup.
do.
I
But-
totally did.
It's all good. We pick up the tater tot and ketchup slack for Shauna.
I
I'm
was
just saying.
mad. The one thing I never really felt that they actually loved each other. I always felt that their relationship was a relationship of convenience. We trapped down here. So
Right.
do we
You mean
really
Sykes
have to
and Richards?
Sykes and Clark.
No, I wrote that
Yeah.
down. I wrote that like he's saying I love you, but
But you
he's
don't
never
mean
shown
that.
it. He's never said it before. And did they act like they loved each other to you? Not to me.
No.
So
So do we have? I mean, is that what we do? Do we
when
say
someone's dying,
things?
you just say I love you to
just
let them know.
Hey, I'm sorry you're dying. Be more appropriate than because now if I come back,
Or you can just forward their phone call. They leaving anyway.
see in the thing.
He is a savage.
I'm just saying.
He's a savage. He been saying he would kill people. He like I would get it done.
Okay, quick question for everyone. So in the moment in the first episode when Lila got bit, did you think she was going to turn and maybe that might have been a situation?
Yes, I certainly
That would have been
did.
interesting.
And she's such a great resource. I felt like, oh my God, if she's a good resource for the virals, like it's over for y'all because she's brave, she has knowledge, and she is.
Because then I was thinking, like, dang, is Brad gonna have to take her out? Like,
I don't know.
that would have been a confrontation.
For me, Lila has almost been a speed bump.
oh,
I mean, I just.
For those out there,
I'm just
there
gonna
was
let the
just a
chat
look.
handle that. I'm
Dr.
just gonna let
Lila
the
is my
chat handle that.
Character.
Darts fired.
I don't know, like Lila, she's okay. So Lila has done a good job. She's more to me like she's convenient. I don't know if she's necessary though.
He called her his ex-wife, y'all. Like he's like, that's not his real wife.
There
like
was
he could have
almost
just.
a fatality, I think, while we were watching when he said that. Like, I had to
It's the
distance
truth,
myself a little bit
though.
from the table.
Behind every good man is a
Oh,
strong.
gosh.
Oh, see,
He's like, here we
Lord.
go.
Oh gosh.
I hope your wife is watching this right now.
Dr. Lila has been such a great asset. She's been such a great resource. She's even become a second mother to Amy. Like she's helped create that family feel.
What did she do
She
for
ain't
Amy?
cooking.
The
Josh is not
chat
feeling
said, Josh, how dare you?
Oh!
Shame.
Dr. Lila, can
How
you chime
dare
in the
you?
chat?
Thank you to our fifth passenger because
Wow.
we need him to know like Lila
Yes.
is necessary.
Get your life.
She even went to go get Sister Lacey when necessary. She was like, okay, I'm gonna bring out the big guns now.
Okay, wait a minute. Shauna brings up a good point. She's just moving into everything.
Sorry.
So with our girl Lacey, and Lacey, you out there, shout out to Lacey if you watch
Oh
it.
my God. She's
So
amazing.
first of all, how come when she got dropped off, why did the sign say like what was it like at least a 5 or 18 mile?
It was
Seven
18 miles to Telluride.
You couldn't
Y'all know
dropped
she's
off
doing
any
it.
closer.
Walking
You
up to
couldn't say
Telluride.
turn here. to turn here.
I was like, man, her look on her face was like, this is some nonsense.
Unless sometimes athletes have their pregame ritual on how they hype themselves up. Maybe this 18-mile walk was her.
I'm gonna be exhausted. This military stuff.
Wait a minute. When she showed up, though, why did she show up just all calm with like Brett, just like, hey guys, like just open the door. People get
Sister
shot at. She
Lacey
was
does
just
not
like,
get shaken.
let's get up in the car and go. I was like,
God is a direct
She goes with God. That's
Right.
true. I do agree with that.
Brad was looking like, could we get a move on?
Yeah.
She's like, okay, just get in the back
Bruh,
seat and we go.
chill. We good.
Mo Pick 312 has an interesting point because we haven't made it to the second book here, but Lila got bit and got healed. She's doing exactly what happened in the second book. So
So is that foreshadowing?
It's interesting that happened now, right? Because that is something that happens in book 2.
But see, I don't want to break the fourth wall thing, but Fox will do that sometimes. They will try to jam it all into one season or
That's
something
what
like that.
I'm gonna leave.
So
that
we're
one.
gonna just not speak that into existence.
Yes, we
but
want
just
Fox
know
to bring back a season 2.
Call your
we
local
love it.
senator.
We love it.
She said, call the senator.
Call your senator.
Your local government
They
representative.
fighting over stupid stuff now anyway.
Congressman.
Fight over something real. Fight over
Patrick
passion.
said
It does
started
derive
right
from
here.
real life.
It does.
Yes,
See?
viruses, CDC.
There we go.
Government.
I had a friend in high school.
Man.
His mom was
Dang.
upper echelon at the CDC.
Wow.
Yeah, she was one of like 3 people who had clearance. So it was really interesting.
One of 3.
Yeah, one of 3 people who had clearance.
So that means if anything happens, find us because we're with Josh because he got the cure.
I
That's
don't
what
have
that
the
means.
cure. I just knew her. Okay.
Oh man.
But here's another question with Lila, because we're thinking, oh, she's doing this whole beautiful thing about I'm going to take this to the CDC so we can find this cure.
Yeah.
And then not to jump ahead, but I'm about to jump ahead. Then we find out the CDC is no more. So where's?
Do we believe that?
I mean, I
know. I'm saying like just using rhetoric. Do we believe the CDC could actually be annihilated
Oh yeah.
with all of its resources
With
and there's
all
no
of these
backup?
virals though, they're
Well, if
killing.
it wasn't annihilated when they said it at that point in the movie, when that bomb hit, it was for sure. It's
yeah,
gone
definitely.
down.
Yeah.
So, and we don't know where Lila is. So it's one of these things. Are we gonna be looking for her like we was looking for Anthony?
Out in the
I
world.
found it fascinating
you
too
were
in the
looking for
beginning, by
Anthony.
the way,
Always.
that Amy was the narrator at first.
Yeah.
And so to me, that shifts like the main person because for a minute, there wasn't really one, but it lets us know that she's in charge now. Like she
Yeah.
is the HBIC, the HKIC, the head kid in charge.
Yes.
She surely is.
Now, one last kind of big moment in the first hour was Shauna and Richard's scene. When she comes after he gets bit and she's laying there and it looks like Clark is about to check out. She comes in and we knew it. I think we all knew.
Yeah, we were
like,
waiting
Shauna's
on
about
it.
to show up.
Yeah, she has to.
So she does. They have their little moment where Clark kind of has his time to make a choice in terms of what to do. What did you guys think? Did you think he was gonna punch out, or that he would have chosen the route that he went?
I think you'd be hard pressed to find anyone. I think we can all sit here right now and say, I absolutely would not do that. You was a lie. Because once you start feeling that last, because you fear, we're human. We fear the unknown, and especially the unknown that ain't nobody come back to tell you what's over there. Like if
Right.
somebody came back, if the ancestors really came back like in Wakanda and told us what was going on, then we wouldn't fear death as much. But since y'all ain't come back from Wakanda, then I'll be like, so which side of the neck do you want?
I
Same,
truly
man.
listen. I'm always the one that's like, no. I would be like, okay, bite me because I
Make sure you
need
get a good-
to survive. Like the fact that we all are here, about to die, and it's like either I'm gonna get bit by some viral I don't like or know, or you're gonna promise me this life where I can still be me.
Well, according to Lacey, what if you're innocent? Then you wouldn't mind dying.
Okay, I mind.
I want to.
You know what I mean?
live.
Yeah, because no matter how innocent, and that's the one thing my dad used to always tell me this. He's like, there's no. Once you get to death, everything else, your sex, your gender, your religion, all that. Once you meet death, none of that matters.
No, you're
because
just staring death in the face.
You're staring death in the face, and you have no idea what that means. And I just don't think, innocent or no, I could be Mother Teresa. I guarantee you, Mother Teresa, if Shauna had went to Mother Teresa would have been like, Okay, my child. This side.
Maybe not Mother Teresa now. She seemed like she would be like, I want to be with my Lord.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. Something to think about.
Yes.
Something to think about. Well, before we do go to the other side in terms of hour 2, we definitely have some things that we like to shout out to our AfterBuzzers.
Yes,
and let
we
you guys
do.
know
Of
about.
course.
I'm
Jackie
gonna
gonna do that
tell
today.
y'all because that's what I do. I tell y'all things. So before we go on to our next topic, I just want to take a moment and say thank you guys so much for making us the ESPN of TV Talk, and for us to continue to grow like we want to. We need your help. As you know, some of you guys are watching us on YouTube right now. Hey, passengers in the live chat, we see you. Do us a favor while you're there and hit the thumbs up. And if you're listening to us on the podcast on iTunes, make sure you give us 5 stars because that's what we need. But
5
no
stars.
matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation because we do talk back throughout the entire week. So make sure you leave us a comment. We'll talk back to you because being a part of AfterBuzz really does mean so much to all of us. And we truly appreciate you guys supporting us, doing what we love. So don't forget to tell your friends to tell their friends. And if you're listening to Josh, tell some enemies.
That's right.
But make sure you tell somebody and you are here with us. Go ahead and subscribe to all the other shows on AfterBuzz. If you're watching it and if you love it, we got it. So make sure you subscribe. We love y'all so much.
There you have it. There we go. You got the little ding ding. Like that was perfection. I love that. So we move into hour 2. After we've gone through, we've dealt with Richards and Shauna and all this stuff. Oh, we dealt with Amy and Fanning have their little moment.
Yes.
Where Amy's kind of like, no, Fanning has her pinned up against the tree.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to do his little intimidation, and the eyes
Your
go
big
light.
boo.
for
That's
Amy,
right.
And then you like, oh, buddy, what's
Amy,
coming?
She usurps that authority.
And we
That's
have,
when I knew that Amy's power is even different from theirs. Like when
Yeah.
they get that light, they get bad. But when she gets hers, it allows her to be like even more powerful. Like in a good way though.
And she's so calm about it.
right.
Yeah.
She doesn't use it in a negative way.
That
So
was
she-
cool.
So she has that vision, and where it's kind of like Fanning freaks out or
future.
leaves her alone. All that stuff runs off. She doesn't really know what's going on, but she was like, "I know I'm more powerful than you, homie."
Right.
So-
He was
Yeah.
decrepit. Like he
Right.
was in there with them chapped lips. She had to give her blood and he was trying to reach out and suck it, but his lips was
She was probably like, "You cut me smart with those lips." Why I seen a finger come out with the Vaseline? Like,
But when she talked about that, she was telling Brad, she's like, I saw the future. Because that's the first thing I said. I was like, I think she just had a glimpse into the future. And so I loved it when she said, I saved Fanning, but I don't know why. So now I'm wondering, is there a moment where she realizes if I don't save him, then I also can't save myself? Because they're still connected.
Right.
So it was interesting for her to say, I don't know why. Because
Or is Fanning necessary for the change that could happen?
Which
for
is
the
what I'm
apocalypse?
wondering.
Yeah.
Like, is there some point, because, their nuclear bombs have gone off, that's going
Yeah.
to affect everybody, viral and non-viral. So
terrible.
has she reached a point where she doesn't need Tim Fanning and she's just saving him out of mercy, or is it self-preservation?
Do they work together?
They're not going to work together.
You don't believe
I
so?
don't think so. Because he's never going to be good.
no.
No, but Amy has the power to control him, though.
Right, I believe that, yeah.
So regardless if he's naturally good or not, I believe that she has the power to cajole him into doing things that would benefit humanity. That's all that's left, whatever part is left.
That's a lot of work, though.
But she's the
I
only
don't
one
know
who can
now.
do it. They all been telling her this. Brad, the dad, has been preparing her for this.
Brad the dad.
she-
I like that.
So she knows
Getting all the
that
nicknames
she
right.
is-
Bars.
she's basically the only hope for humanity.
Ivan said that I thought that Amy didn't have the hunger.
Hey, Ivan.
What's
We were
up?
looking for you. What's up, man?
What's up, Ivan? He is the most mentioned, I think, passenger
Yes,
on.
because he's always a passenger.
all of- yeah.
Yes.
But he said I didn't think Amy had the hunger. I don't think I ever thought. We knew she was going to change in some capacity. We knew
Yeah.
she didn't change to the extent that the other virals did. But I think the moment we knew that something's amiss is when she wasn't eating that trout.
Right.
Yeah, but I think Amy's always had an internal conflict. She didn't churn, so she's questioning that. But then in the beginning, she's questioning why is she here? What did they infect me with? And so I think that it just came to a point where she's realizing she has to come to grips with who she is. I mean, we do see that Brad braids her hair.
With no shea butter.
Well, I'm just saying, the braiding of the hair does represent.
Wait a minute. passengers out there, did I not say this in like episode 1 or
I
2?
remember.
I was like, I was like, he's hanging out with the little black girl. If I see him braiding her hair, I'm gonna know Brad's been hanging around some black folks.
To be fair, though, we didn't see him
this is true.
braid
This
her
was the
hair.
conversation that was going on. It was already kind of done. We just saw the hands kind of going over.
Did you notice how they just stayed there? Like the camera just kept going back. There was never any motion. It was just like, I'm here. Please don't ask me to do
Listen,
nothing.
as a mother, a black mother, it took me quite a while to get that cornrow down with them 2 braids like that. Okay, they squirm, they act a fool. The hair's curly, it's thick, your nails get caught. Brad didn't do that.
Man.
Nah, not at all.
I need
Mark
to
Paul,
know-
though, I'm gonna give it to you for. I don't know
We'll
if you
give it to
tried,
you.
but you did a good job. Because even when I saw it, I was like, wait, did he get the 2 on the side?
He
going
got the
down?
2.
Like, man,
We call them, where I'm from, we call them the doo-doo braids. You know,
man.
you know.
I
That's
was
what we
like,
call
Brad,
it.
doing
But he
his
did
thing.
hold it right, and the rubber band was right where it was supposed to be. You know,
He
so
probably had black women on set, like, no, you
Yes.
got to do your hands like this, because the authenticity, we will have black folks looking at it, and the girls will be like,
I didn't see no shea butter though. There was
That
no,
was the
there was
problem.
nothing. I was like,
Or
there's
edge
nothing
control,
even on it.
nothing.
Nothing.
But she came up looking
bomb,
like,
though. She looked bomb. She came up and she said, "How do I look?" And he
Man.
was like, "Bad." Y'all know the rest.
maybe.
But how?
Well,
who,
but
who
I-
did the micro braids at the end though?
Well, but that's what I'm saying.
She
Like,
was
I
around
think
for 97 years.
She
so
learned how to do
probably-
that herself.
she got somebody
There
from
she found-
Wakanda probably
Okay,
to
right,
hook up.
right.
She found
and,
a
and
butt.
they definitely had edge control because baby hair was laying down. Did you see
Yes, but
I don't know.
I
the
would say I
humidity
think
from
that
the
she
nuclear bomb.
I think that she is going to be in a lot of control because the braiding of the hair represents strength and healing. So, that's one reason they braid the hair. They've reached a new plateau. So when I saw she had like the 8,000 braids going down, I was like, oh yeah, she's gonna run things.
Man.
that? Janet Jackson, she controlling.
She did. She
Control out
shot
here.
him right in the heart with the arrow there.
And she was so chill about it. No, he was running. She was like, bruh,
Right.
hold
She
up.
probably been practicing for 97 years.
No, you know what she's been doing? She's been telling herself, "What we're not gonna do is panic."
Panic.
Mo Pick out here doing math. He says there's like 7.53 exact 7.53 billion people in the world, and now it's down to 42 million.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of people.
Wow.
It's a lot of
A
people,
lot of jobs available.
right?
So
Job security. for
in
some.
hour 2, in hour 2, we like I said, we open up with Lear and Lacey having their little situation. He's trying to kill himself. They get it together, get down to the CDC. We see where all the U.S. Allies are like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Oh, that was
Questioning
so,
Y'all
everything.
can't do nothing, and
You
we
guys,
like, oh,
that was so
US.
scary to me. That part was scary. Like, not scary like jump scare, but scary like indicative of
Real
our
life.
world. Yeah, like, are they really doing this with all these TVs and stuff like that? But to hear the other countries be like, no more American promises, this is what we've decided, that is very scary. And I really recently have thought about that and researched what happens when a nuclear bomb comes. You guys don't want to know. Like, skin falling off the bones and radiation
Yes, a
making
lot.
it. It's just really.
You won't feel it. It's pretty instant, from, so you just melt. It's
No,
pretty instant.
that's if you're
pretty instant.
in range. But if you're further away, you're just going to experience the nausea and the stuff like that
All
until
the
you
symptoms.
like basically puke yourself.
I was just
out.
looking at some of the disrespect on the phone call, though, like on the FaceTime when they were just
When they just
the
cut him
Samoan,
off.
He was like, "No, what we need to click." Like
Yeah.
people, only
They were
Britain
like,
hung around
we're-
the old lady. She was
I
like,
don't like.
"Yeah,
I don't like how she was.
hopefully you guys get it together."
Well,
'cause-
Lear was blindsided when they told him the CDC was annihilated.
Right.
He's like, bruh.
Right.
And
The
he's
guy was
like,
like,
oh, don't worry about that.
Right.
I'm like, bro.
That's some info I want
Yeah.
you to know.
You gonna sit me in here blind?
Right?
But
Oh,
that's the new Gilder. I call it. That guy is the new Gilder. He was
His
trying
name
to get.
was Director Bogosian.
He was trying to get Dr. Lear to lie about already having the cure, and he's like, "I'm not about to sit there and lie about that." He's like, "Well, at least tell him it's on his way." I mean, he was pushing it to the people. He was telling him, "Oh, don't worry about." You can tell whenever somebody's that shady.
I can't call
That's
him
the new
Gilder.
Gilder.
I can't call him Gilder because yes, he was telling Dr. Lear to push it, but when he didn't push it, then folks started hanging up and the bombs started flying. You sometimes you gotta that lie to save your life is all right.
Well, first of all, can we talk about when he?
But they would have known he was lying. They're not stupid. Obviously, they clicked on him.
Okay, but if he had told the lie right, they'd still be on the phone right now.
Told the lie right. Can we talk about when dude raised his voice and with Lacey and the dude though, and Lacey kind of had that look like, I'm gonna need you to lower your tone though.
Take the
Sorry.
bass out your voice,
Right.
sir.
You don't understand. This is the situation. She was like,
The up and down, like
right.
No, I heard you loud and clear.
I will blow up this whole place myself.
That was one of
Wouldn't
those
be
real
it.
moments, though, because I
Yes,
couldn't
it
tell if
was.
she was acting, because she almost looked at him like, "Is that in the
Right.
scene?"
I don't think that
That's
was in
not
the
in the
script.
scene.
Why are you? Hold on.
They said keep the camera
director?
rolling. Keep the camera rolling.
I was just like, keep going, keep going. She was like, I
Catch
don't
that.
need him to talk to me like that.
Catch these hands, player.
Oh my goodness. So we see Brad and Lila and Amy are on the run. They move. I guess they were in Oregon.
Yeah, they were in
right?
Oregon.
So they're out there living like the wildlife. Like we said, we see Amy fishing. She's not eating the fish. My personal thing was I think it wasn't seasoned right. So she was
Wait a
probably
minute.
That is fair.
Wait a minute.
They didn't have no
Points were
Lowrys in
made,
there.
You know, so she was putting it in the napkin, like, I'm sorry, Brad, I can't do
Need
this.
some Cholula.
Right, a little Louisiana hot sauce, you know. But so we see it there, and then we see virals for the first time during the day. You know,
Yeah.
when they're at the
the
gas
gas
station.
station.
Lila comes across one, and like she said, he didn't really attack her. He just kind of jumped out, was looking at her for a little bit. Then Brad came out, you know, wrecking shop.
That's when Lila felt like the viral may have known that she's the cure or that she has the cure in her. Because
Or recognized her, right, as another viral.
Yeah, because if he would have bitten her, he would have been healed or, you know, fixed, whatever, cured, because she already had the cure in her.
I mean, I don't know. I did love how he was just not aggressive at all while he was staring at her. He didn't get aggressive until Brad came up with the Rambo.
I mean, he's walking up to you with a pistol. Like, what you
That
supposed
make
to do?
anybody aggressive,
I'm saying.
viral or not.
I'm saying.
And so we learn that through Brad that, or the guy, one of the locals, you know, he's got his little map plotted out. Says, hey, here's Brian.
Yeah.
Where they've all been going. Brad figures out, hey, they're all going home. So, except for Vegas, you know, he said, well, how come Vegas wasn't one of the ones? Because that's where Shauna's from. We find out Shauna actually is there. It's just her and Clark keeping it a little on the down low. How they eating and terminating folks down there.
Yeah, rapists, all of them.
And so we kind of see.
I'm not mad at that.
R. Kelly.
Oh, see, we was refraining.
I'm not mad
we was
at that
refraining.
either. We are still refraining. I'm not mad at that at all.
Right? If you gotta eat some, I mean,
gotta eat
they
somebody.
probably taste lousy though. You know what I mean? Like I would imagine a rapist or a pedophile tastes awful. You know what I mean? But I bet
maybe
you, I
that's
bet you
what
an
she-
innocent tastes all
Maybe
sweet.
that's why she was mad at it. You know, she's like, I'm not doing it no more.
Like,
Like, I don't want the.
You giving
She
me
wanted
this?
the love.
Right.
The companionship.
I
you
told
know,
y'all.
I mean, he's dropping her off at Applebee's, coming back, picking her up. She's like, bruh, come on,
Right.
man. I need somebody to sit at the table with me.
Right, just hanging out at the bar
Yeah.
by herself. She wants a little, like you said, companionship. Clark is like, I'm just doing my job. I'm bringing you, I'm feeding you.
Right.
Isn't that just like, just like guys? I'm taking you out to eat. You
saying,
know, like
feed
what
you.
else do you
What
want?
more do you want?
Right.
Him let you drive him a Mercedes.
Right.
What's the problem?
So we kind of see that relationship take a turn because we really see Shauna coming out like, I want more. I don't
Yeah.
want to just do this anymore. And Clark's kind of like, look, he's actually still a little bitter. Like,
Yeah.
look,
He is.
like if it was up to me, I'm suffering every day, like doing, you know. and
Boy,
she-
bye. You had a choice.
You
You
were
was laying
going
on
to
the
die.
ground. You had a choice. You knew what it was. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad at Shauna. I told you that everybody gets one. You're my one. And you just going to keep backing this car up with food in it. You're not engaging me in no conversation. You're not giving me no loving. Nah,
Well, let me ask you
nah.
this. Is Shauna capable of surviving in the world as a viral without being a threat to humanity?
I think she knows herself well because I think we've heard this theme reoccurring throughout the show. Even Anthony said it, like the hunger makes you do weird things.
Yeah.
So I think she understands that the hunger is stronger than her. And she even said that to Sykes. You know, he wants us to go out into the world and start killing and eating everybody.
didn't understand that.
And she's like, that's a lot. That's
Yeah.
a lot. So she knows that that's too much. She knows. She told him, I don't want to be an animal.
Well, that's that sense of humanity y'all brought up
Right.
last week or a couple of weeks ago, how Shauna still has that in her. She still wants to be a positive force to some degree.
But I still want the loving too.
Whoa.
You
But
know
Clark ain't
what?
trying to give it up.
But you gonna have to, like you said, I brought you into this world. I saved your life. You ain't gonna get boy bye. No.
Wow.
I want to say something. I'm discovering this right now in my mind.
Go ahead, girl.
The people who are okay, like they're able to hang on to a little bit of humanity, were done wrong in their life. Like to me, like Martinez, who acted up, Fanning wasn't really done wrong in his life. He was a scientist, whatever. But Amy had to go through all that stuff with her mom. Anthony went through some stuff with his ex-girlfriend or fiance. And then, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You guys see the connection? So I think that's how they're able to, because Shauna went through her, molesting thing or whatever. And the thing about Shauna, by the way, Shauna is so beautiful. Like, I wasn't seeing you before, girl. You are so beautiful. But Clark is not feeling it.
Dang.
And I
don't
feel
need to
like
start if he wants to keep living.
I don't
You know
want
what?
him to fake it though. Like, I don't want him to fake it so that he can try to get. What is he trying to do? Where is he trying to get to? He's dead. Okay.
You know who wasn't faking it was Lila and Brad when they had their little. Hey, Mark Paul.
Oh my gosh.
Woo! Let's get it on. We were like, wow.
They were
okay.
under those covers.
I was not like, wow.
It was like a music video.
You need him. You for
They should
real
have had
need
the
him.
R&B music going.
It was like the R&B music video.
My
You know when they
mind's
have the
telling me
cover
no.
over.
Man.
Look at you. I'm not going to do it. Don't do it.
But can we talk about Brad's face when they were talking after when she wanted to go?
No,
and do
y'all need to talk about that because
He
y'all
was
are
in
the
that-
ones that took exception to that moment.
Lila must have put it on it because he was like, his eyes were kind of in the back of his head. He was like, yeah. She was like, okay, I need to go down and do that. You know, she was very much in her right mind. Like, this is the time to
Exactly.
strike.
So
right
does that
now.
mean that Lila is manipulative?
Or did it mean Brad didn't put it down like we thought?
Oh!
Or if-
I had no thoughts about Brad. I can assure you.
He was overwhelmed. You know, 'cause they hadn't really probably done anything
I mean,
a
he
little
still,
bit.
I mean, y'all say that he still loves her.
He does still love
He
her.
probably does. I'm not saying that he doesn't. But Lila, was it always her? I guess was it always her opinion or her job to go to the CDC because she had the cure, and so her way of getting out was to leave him with the last, gift.
Oh, you reaching?
No,
you
no.
reaching all the way.
Right. Are you
Like
you feel
I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
put a
I'm only
Phoenix or
asking.
something
I'm just
for that
asking.
stretch.
He had been stretching before he got to that reach.
Oh,
I'm just
here we go.
asking.
But I will say, I slightly was thinking that maybe she thought, like, after I do this, I'm going to talk to him about me leaving.
Put it
Bet.
on.
See, Shauna,
But
you
not,
know.
but not in a
Admit.
bad way. But in a way of, like, love. Like, she cried after and was just like, I have to do
Were those
this.
real tears?
Nah.
Yes, those were real tears.
No,
Was she
no,
like while she
no.
during the act? Was she already thinking like, okay,
Dr.
we almost
Lila
finished because I need
Is my favorite
Premeditated.
First of all, Amy is Brad's responsibility, right? That's his connection. That he instantly felt the moment he slammed old boy's head on the dashboard in the first episode.
Doyle.
Yeah.
Doyle.
Oh,
Ugh.
here we go.
He felt a connection to her. That is his responsibility. Lila has already told us that what she needs is to help people. She is a doctor. She does not want to leave Brad. She
So
loves
why doesn't
Brad
she want to work with the team of doctors?
because they're at the CDC where she's trying to get to. She worked with Dr. Sykes, but she can't. Where are these doctors at in the forest? Where are the doctors in the forest?
All right.
This is a good
Y'all ain't
point.
gonna
She's
be
a
up in here
good-
talking about Lila and
I'm just
Brad
saying,
like
I don't
this.
mind. I don't mind having my mind changed. I just need a reason, but
So finally, we move into these final couple scenes. Brad comes out. Oh no, sorry. Old boy Bob gets.
Oh, Lord,
gets
Bob.
infected.
Whole thing.
Comes up. We think Brad's gonna just hurry up, handle business. First of all, he turned like pretty quick, like
Yeah.
Bob did when
Yeah, he did.
Literally when he turned around and he was just a couple seconds. Then he was like, "Man, it feels so good." Eyes lit up. Something happened. Brad gets bit. Comes in. And we're thinking like that was a moment like
Yes.
What?
How did that happen? Like, how is it
I
possible?
have a theory. I don't think it was Bob who bit.
Oh, I said the same
I don't think
thing.
it was Bob who bit him. I
Yes.
think it was Tim Fanning.
Yes. I thought the same thing.
I don't
Yes, because I was like, you're right. Because I'm looking at it from a physiology standpoint. So Bob isn't quick enough, to get up to a guy like Brad. So my thing was maybe while he was shooting Bob, he was distracted.
And he just came
Man,
in
why did you say
from the
that?
side.
I definitely thought that,
Boom.
bruh.
Communication is key. Brad needed
Right.
to let us know Fanning bit me.
right, and then
Maybe he doesn't know.
Yeah, because if it was
was so
somebody that
fast.
came up from behind, he might
Yeah,
just think it's another viral. He
Yeah.
doesn't know. Yeah.
And we saw the conversation that Amy had with Fanning, where she was like, "I'll never eat anybody," and he was like, "We'll see."
We gonna see.
So Brad comes in, and the people are Brian and his mom, or whoever the other lady was. They're ready to put Brad down in a hurry, And Amy's like, no.
Nah, bruh. That's the agent.
And then you just saw like the protector come out. And
Go
she was-
ahead, Amy.
And that was another real moment. The lady's face when they heard Amy turning and growling.
They was
she
like,
was
wait,
like,
this
what?
real?
This child been back here the whole time.
The next
We didn't
thing,
know.
wham! They were on the ground.
But did you see Brad's face?
Yes, he
Yes.
was just like.
I
oh,
think he
Lord.
was shook.
He's
And
like, oh, she gonna eat me?
Right.
She not
And
gonna
that's
eat me.
what shook her. She saw his face and she felt like, oh my God, he's going to think like I'm a monster. He's going to feel like I'm no longer the Amy that he loved and knew. And it broke my heart. Like, I felt like she had to lose her mom twice, basically, with Lila. I felt like this is the only father figure she's ever had. And she kind of has to, like, leave him for his own safety. It's just, this kid is just
been through a
dealing
lot.
with a lot.
She's
and
destined for greatness.
She
She
is.
is.
That's how
You
you,
know?
that's
And
how
then
you
she
know.
lives. She goes another 97 years, but she's still a little kid. So she just lives.
Yeah,
her
because
life.
she got vamped.
She's like a wise old kid. Like, I know it all.
Now let's
chat
talk about
saying.
that real quick. Just kind of like the ending part, because we all kind of. I mean, I know I was kind of like, oh, interesting. You know, like we see her. Like it literally says 97 years
Yeah,
in the future
in the Palm Desert.
You know, which was an interesting location.
Right.
Yeah.
I wrote that
of
down
all
too. Like,
places.
where?
So how did it kind of leave you guys? How did you feel about
Jackie?
This is my first down moment in the series. It was my first down moment because, I mean, don't get me wrong. First of all, shouts out to, I don't know if that was like they actually micro braided it or like we said, it was like one, because they got the new braid wigs out. I don't know if y'all know that, but they do. But whoever did her hair, shouts out. She looked beautiful. And that was the first thing that I noticed, that she came out extremely confident. Even though she's still the same age, there was an air of wisdom. Like, she was an adult. You know what I mean? There was an air. Well, there should be after 97 years,
Right,
but but just the way she played that character, I thought it was beautiful. But to just have on the bottom of the screen that said 97 years later, and then you see these vamps eating, was the head of a deer?
Yeah, it was a deer.
Like,
Yeah.
where's the other half though? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So there was just a part of me that felt, I think there was a sense of nervousness in me, because it's like, all right, are you setting this up so our minds can just kind of create whatever ending we want, because you're not bringing it back for another season, which would be devastating for me. So
Do not
Don't
do
do
that,
that.
Fox.
I
Do
was
not
about
do
to
that,
yeah,
Fox.
so there was a downer for me in the ending, but
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I agree. I think that if it was like, I feel like, but you know what? I still have hope, as always. Hope must stay alive. Okay, keep hope alive. I think that there will be a season 2. But what I will say is, before we even get into all of that, I think that Amy's wisdom is going to aid her, but I think she needs other people, because you hear her talking about loneliness. You hear Shauna talking about loneliness. You hear everyone talked about, Dr. Sykes and Clark were seriously just loneliness. And that is a theme here, I've noticed. And I really believe that she needs to find a colony soon. And that's what she's on the search for, so that she can utilize their gifts too. Because
So
she's
is this
not
like
a
an
doctor.
I Am Legend moment?
I think so. Wow, that's one of my
reference.
movies. I
Yeah.
like that movie.
That's.
Right.
I mean, I liked it. Y'all know how I feel about Amy.
Right.
I think she's dope. You know, to come through like Katniss Everdeen and just tear through everybody. I think she did. I mean, I'm just saying, if she's been living 97 years, that means that she's been doing her job, making sure she's protecting whomever is left.
Right.
And then she references, if you were dead, I think I would know it.
Right.
So we know you're talking
Right.
about Brad.
Dang.
Yeah.
You ain't talking about Lila.
Cassandra said Fox better give us season 2.
Okay,
Cassandra's showing up
you
at
tell
the-
the truth.
Come on,
Yes.
Cassie.
Shit.
Come on, Cassie.
Thank you.
Well, hey, that was, I mean, like I said, it was a great 2 hours. You know,
It was wonderful.
A lot going on. And like I said, we really hope Fox do not let us down on this.
Yeah.
I was over here
So-
tripping when Dr. Lear gave himself the vaccine. Like, wait a minute here. So what did he do?
Girl, I don't know. I saw that and I was like, here we go. Here we
He,
go.
I feel like he has this savior complex. I'm so happy that he wants to redeem himself, and redemption is the theme. I love that Josh said that. Redemption is the theme of this entire show. Everyone is redeeming themselves. Brad is redeeming himself from feeling guilty about his daughter. Lila is redeeming herself. She was over there with, who was the guy? Anthony or somebody in the beginning. What's his name? In the beginning, she had another man, so now
Oh,
she's redeeming
Mark.
herself. Mark. You know, everyone's redeeming themselves, but Mr. Lear over here, you redeeming yourself, first of all, over a woman that you and Fanning are still fighting over. Lord,
But she liked Lear. She was
must
not
have been
feeling
so
Fanning.
good. She must have been so bomb. What'd you say?
She was not feeling Fanning.
She was not feeling Fanning.
He's just
Apparently,
in
hell
denial.
hath no fury like a man scorned. Who knew?
Oh, well.
Because they're arguing over her and she is dead. Fanning is saying that she never loved you. She said it was all your fault because you were holding her in your arms, but I was with her. That's how you really mess with a man.
I love
you
that,
might have
though.
had her, but I had her.
Because that was his first lie. Throughout this whole thing, Fanning has been getting people by sticking to the truth. Hard truth.
Yeah.
He bends it. I mean, but it's still fact. That's the first time we've heard him lie in this whole thing.
Desperation.
Guess so.
Like you said, I think the Fanning Lear thing will continue on. I don't think it can ever go out. So.
It has to. But what about
will
him
see.
with the antidote? I need to know what you think
We
is going to
gonna-
happen to
hopefully-
him.
Man,
Season
that's
2.
what we gonna do, writers. Let us know.
Let us know,
know.
writers, for
No.
season 2.
You know. Well, let's like I said, that was a great episode. Thank you guys again for joining us in the chat, dropping your thoughts and how you guys felt. Now let's go to one of our special segments that has become, I think, a crowd favorite, a chat favorite.
Bad bite,
Good
y'all.
bite, bad bite. Shauna, let's start with you. What was your good bite?
Okay,
bad bite?
you guys, listen. This is the finale, so bear with me. My good bites were Sister Lacey, Dr. Lila, and Brad and Amy. Yummy. Yummy to all of them, and Clark as well. Clark did okay, because they all came to, like, they were separate, but they made sure to keep this place here. Like, they were like, Lacey was like, I got my plan. Amy was like, I got my plan. Everyone had their plan, so I think that those are my good bites. Bad bites go to all the virals. I wish I have a finger for you.
Whoa!
I was like, no. Oh, okay, you're okay.
What's your bad bite, Josh? Or good bite?
Well, my good bite was actually when Amy came on out of her shell and yes, and got something to eat. You know, she ate Brian, and I can't remember the other lady's name, but whatever.
Store lady.
They dead now.
Right.
Okay. But that
was
was
a good bite?
Yeah, that was a good bite for me because Amy accepting who she is part of why she could become so powerful. When you stand around suppressing yourself, you don't know how powerful you can be and how influential you can be in a positive way. Now, my bad bite, I'm not going to say anything bad, y'all. Just my bad bite, I'm just going to leave it at Clark and Shauna. I think that relationship is a pseudo relationship. I feel like Clark did have a connection with Sykes, and I think that now that Sykes is gone, Clark is trying to figure out how to get close to Shauna and try to help her without feeling guilty about it. That's why I feel like he pointed the gun at her. He's like, now that guilt is coming. He doesn't know how to escape it.
Well, Tanya agreed with you in the chat. She said, I'm tired of the Clark and Shauna storyline.
Thank you, Tanya.
Shade.
Thank you, Tanya. I'm with you.
Tawny.
Oh,
Clark,
Tawny.
No, it's Tanya, but I'm calling her Tawny. Tawny, Clark can actually just go. Listen, I do like him, but he dead. He's dead now. And he's still dealing with guilt and all this stuff. When you die, you're supposed to be peaceful. You're supposed to be okay.
Okay,
So I can understand that.
My good bite is gonna go to Dr. Lila. Yummy. Because I really just love her owning the moment. I love her realizing that, you know, Brad is in this peaceful moment. He's happy here. He has his family. He has the family he's never had. He's happy here. He knows the CDC's not coming. He's okay with that because he gets to have the family. And I appreciate her understanding that the onus was on her to get them out of the situation. And someone asked in the chat earlier, like, why didn't she take the virus with her? Because she's the cure now. Because
she's the walking
now that
cure.
it's in her, so she's gonna definitely get my good bite. You know what? I actually did not have a bad bite for
It wasn't
this
Anthony
episode.
killing all those people?
First of all, look here. Yes, let me take that back. I do have a bad bite. Every single person who shot at Anthony.
Wow.
You got to kill him.
I mean, but at least, y'all went center mass, though. You could have done the kneecaps. You could have just slowed him down.
Okay.
You didn't have to be going center mass. Like, what if he really would have died? I'd have been feeling some kind of way right
He
now.
went hard on that man's neck. He was biting it
He
from the
was
rooter to the tutor.
hungry. He's hungry.
He was. I
You know what happens? That's why they got those Snickers commercials. You know what happens when you hangry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shoot.
Wow.
Like Steve Zacharine robbing people with a pantyhose face.
Yeah.
What about you,
possible.
Tanir?
Shoot.
My good bites. I'm gonna stick with the hair situation. Brad braided the hair. I don't know. Maybe because I called
just
it in the
touched
second
it.
one. I was like, just confirming my thoughts right there. Mark Paul.
He did
That's-
yummy on
that's
Mark
what-
Paul.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Going in, getting, dealing with black folks braiding hair.
Yes.
That's a big thing in my book.
Brad the
the
dad.
bad bite Yes. Staying with the hair, and actually you guys brought it up when Amy got up from the nap without the headscarf on.
I was so mad.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to put some silk
So
on that.
mad.
You're supposed to put some
She
silk
just
on
rose
that.
up. I know. I don't know. Wonder. When she got, she was like, "Hey, am I supposed to have something?"
Well,
and they were
Brad's a
let's-
novice.
Let's just film the scene. But I need
I think
my.
she was good.
I tell you what, if
so.
she'd have been sleeping for 97 years without that headscarf, them braids ain't real.
No, they're not
Trust
sitting
that.
tight. They staticky and everything.
She may be to the point where she doesn't even sleep anymore. But
Oh,
we'll get into that
my
information.
goodness.
Yes.
Actually, that's a good transition. Let's get into predictions.
Okay.
And now,
New
your
effects.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
And let's start with Miss Jackie. What are your predictions?
I mean, the chat kind of blew my prediction for me because I was thinking that in episode 2. Now from the chat, we do know that they've kind of deviated from the books here and there a little bit, but from the chat, Brad's dead for real. So in my prediction, I thought that she would find Brad in episode 2, and I'm gonna stick to that. I'm gonna stick to the whatever they gonna do it because he's the star of the show and he's so fun to look at.
Yeah, I think they will deviate from the book and stick to Brad being alive. He's a very influential part in Amy's life. In the beginning, the first episode, he realized something was afoot and he began to save her. So I feel like Brad's going to stay there. Amy, I feel like Fanning and Amy are going to work together. And Lila is going to be somewhere doing something that no one notices but is there for some reason.
He don't like Lila, y'all.
I don't have a problem with Lila. I just don't think she fits. I think Brad needs to move on.
He doesn't like our Lila. Okay, so what I predict is that we will have a couple viral babies that I think are going to come through and either we might even have two. They might even go against each other. But we got viral babies because I think Lila's going to be pregnant and present a baby to Brad when he comes back around as a viral. I think Shauna and Clark, he still hasn't fallen in love with her, but he may start to feel obligated because, like she said, I saved your life. And I noticed the way that she was looking at him. She kind of have a little control still over him. Sister Lacey and Lear will find the cure, but they will have to fight that new Gilder guy because he is evil. Something about him does not speak to my... and then I also said that Amy finds a community of survivalists, but there may be some trickery going on, and they may be trying to trap her, trying to figure. Yeah.
Ooh, one more. Can I do one more spoiler? Carlito Lee says the showrunner said she will keep Brad around longer than the books.
I would
That's
say
right.
so.
Thank you.
And that
Thank
right
you.
there sounds like a season 2. And in season 2, I think Anthony, Shauna, and Amy are going to come together against Fanning because those are the 3 people with the last little sense of humanity.
Ooh,
The 3
interesting.
virals. The 3 virals.
I'm with you on that in terms of Anthony and the like Shauna. Maybe there's some kind of revolt or something going on, or maybe they start to turn like, hey, Fanning is not the way, and start to turn on him. And like you said, I also, in terms of Amy finding like some other survivor or other people, other characters are going to come in. I feel maybe help her with her plight. So. Hey, you guys, it's been an amazing season.
Yes, it has.
Amazing.
We appreciate you guys tuning in every week. Chat was lit every week.
Every
we did
week.
It. You
Every
guys
week.
got
Can we
in
just
there,
clap for them for like
dropping
2
knowledge.
seconds?
Yes.
You guys are
Thank
the
you
fifth
guys so
panelists
much.
ever.
We got the
appreciate
best
you.
50 people in the live chat tonight, even with going early. You guys are
All-time
amazing.
high.
We love
Yes.
you.
We
Thank
love
you
you.
so much.
So real quick, let's let everybody know where they can follow you, starting with Shauna.
Please follow me on Twitter at DShaunaO and follow this entire panel because guess what?
Guess
We're
what?
all coming back to a new
Yeah.
show called The Order on Netflix.
Yes.
So check us out.
Mondays
Yes.
at 7 p.m. we will be filming our after shows for The Order. I'm Joshua Wright. You can find me at Cleverly Clad. I have just reactivated my Twitter, so tweet me.
I'm Jackie Ray. You can find me on all things social media. And if Anthony was coming towards me, no, I wouldn't shoot him. I would turn my neck.
And I'm your boy, Tanir Williams. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TanirW. Thank you guys again so much.
Yes.
Have a great week, and we will see you next season.
Yes,
Bye, you
holla.
guys. Fox, give us season 2.
Season 2, we need you.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.